Welcome to New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Well, this week we're going to be carrying on from the whole theme of portrait work and portrait photography, and I found another kind of real New Zealander for you to check out. My subject this week is a guy called Darin Jenkins. Now, Darren is a Maori carver. He's a master carver. He's based in Thames, New Zealand. And he's the guy responsible, if you've ever been to Thames or the Coromandel, if you've been over the Kopu Bridge, the bridge has these amazing carvings on there, and Darren was responsible. He was the artist responsible for creating those carvings and those statues on the bridge. Every time I go and see Darren, I learn something. I gain a respect for him and his culture. So I'm not going to blow on too much. I'm going to get into the little piece that I've put together. Let you take a look, and then we'll come back and have a chat or go over a few bits and pieces. Enjoy. This is Uki.
Maori people work a lot better with their hands, and remember, well, they're working a lot better if they're actually doing something as well. Like me, I was illiterate when I was at school. Couldn't write, couldn't spell. Then when I started carving, it got me interested into something. So I actually started reading books, trying to read books. Part of it is actually knowing, looking at a little bit of history, whether it's about atua or whether it's about ancestors, and if you enjoy it, you'll excel and want to learn more and get more in depth. That's the sense that carvers were sought up everywhere, and if you were well known for your carving, iwi from other tribes would sort you out. If you had a connection or a whakapapa with that tribe, it would be even better. Yeah, I didn't like the idea of master carver at the time, because I still had that focus that a master carver is our tohunga. Now I look at our tohunga as being above master. A master carver it's like a master builder. He knows the art of building, but don't go and ask him to fix your engine for you, because and it's like an engineer. Don't go and ask him to build a house. Whereas a tohunga whakairo or a tohunga will know about building a house, will fix your car, will do all these other things. Which my focus is, I'm just into one in particular stage of that. So I'm okay with master carver now. Because I just look at me as a master builder, but I'll never look at the status as a tohunga whakairo, because there's so many more levels that need to be learned, as well as you need to know your te reo, fully know your te reo, and have a lot more understanding of a lot more things with celestial as well as terrestrial knowledge and all that, and be more involved within Maori aspects that are happening around your area or rohi. The pākoko, four of them, they represent four of the major iwi within the Hauraki area. That's Mahurangi ki ngā Kuria Whare, and all other iwi or tribes that genealogy whakapapa into those four major iwi or four major tribes. One of the things about Māori, which about Māori carving, is that I try to teach these kids what it is to be Māori. for me in particular, for me to be Māori is to know who I am. So it didn't matter, when I was young, you know, knowing that I had a bit of European in me was like, fuck. So what I found with me to be Māori is to know who you are, and that doesn't, as our tupuna, our ancestors knew their father's side and their mother's side. But all our carvings have different entities on them. Like this here is known as a waika, some people call it a weapon. We like to more look at them as defensive weapons. And this particular figure here would represent Atua, which is a parent. Atua is an abbreviation of Mātua. These things were actually, if they were handed down, to high-ranking family members. Otherwise they would be given over in war or found in war after a defeat. And most of the time these will all get named, personal names to them. Like this one here is for a Navy man that he asked me to finish off. He'll name it after he finishes it, he'll name what that's going to be. I've got an understanding of how I see the figure and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. But he'll come along and give it its name and stuff like that.
Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, every time I go and see Darren, I walk away from my visit and experience with a deeper regard for him and his culture. I met Darren about 4 or 5 years ago when I was living in Thames, like I said, and one morning I was walking my dog and I knew of his shed in Thames. He's got this old shed, an old railway shed, as you saw in the video. Amazing place. Heaps of character, and I kind of had been thinking about going in there for quite some time, and one morning I finally decided to pluck up enough courage to go and see him. Walked in, big open door, walked into the shed and introduced myself as Paul Smith, photographer. Can I take a picture? And he kind of looked me up and down a bit, and I was a bit worried at first, but after 30 seconds or so he kind of said, yeah, no worries. And away we went, and I captured a set of images that I'm still kind of proud of to this day. So since then we've kind of, I've been there, 2, 3, maybe 4 more times, and each time when I go in there, we kind of talk about some real interesting stuff, and hopefully my video kind of portrayed that over, and to you, his character, his knowledge, and the mana or respect that he kind of is building for himself down there in Thames. The other thing that really kind of interests me too is because I come from European culture, we don't have a culture as such, and it's really enlightening to be around somebody who does have a strong sense of culture and also has a strong sense of trying to retain and keep that culture alive. Unfortunately, we've lost our culture. My European culture hasn't been lost, but it's kind of getting forgotten. Where we're from and what we, what we are. but people like Darren and you know, the likes, you know, are really working hard to keep their culture alive and passing it on to the next generation. Very cool place. Just on a photography perspective, cameras I used today, Leica M6, and I shot Fuji Acros 100 on that, and Mamiya 645E, and I shot T-Max 400 on that camera, and stoked with both of those film types and cameras. The Mamiya are really the camera that I've only had for a short amount of time. I'm really impressed with that camera, and every time I use it, especially with portraits, it just kind of excels. And T-Max 400 as well, I really like using that as well. It's a nice looking film, and it works well for me with portraits. So very happy with both of those cameras. Obviously the M6 is just a beautiful camera anyway. I shot that with a 35mm Summicron this time, and the 80mm on the Mamiya. So that was the film I used. Hey, if you're interested in kind of like learning more about Darren and his carving, and you want to contact him, I'll leave a link below in the show notes that'll link you to his Facebook page. You can get in contact with him if you want to buy a product from him, or just, you know, say hello, or just go in and see him sometime, and just you know, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to accommodate you guys. So the link below for that. Just quickly, last week, last vlog, we did a session, a little article on a guy called Trevor Kirk, if you saw that, and his little boat, the Taihoa, or Taihoa rather. He had trouble with that. A lot of people have asked me about how can they help Trevor. There has been a Give a Little page set up here in New Zealand. It's like a crowdfunding page. Some of the locals here have seen my video, and after seeing my video they started the page, and that has been started up. So if you want to donate to Trevor, you can do so via, you have to have a credit card. I'm hoping to have the link very shortly. If the link is not in the video in the short period, or straight after I've published this video, it will be available at some stage. So I'll put that link in as soon as I have it available. So if it's not there now and you're watching this video, come back and have another look at it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, go and check out the video up here. It was last week's vlog, and gave it a lot of interest, and it was a good story. And go and check it out anyway. It's well worth a watch. Finally, print time. This week's print is, got a print here, another print for you guys. Been very popular, and people ask for more, and so here we go. This is this week's print. Not sure if I'll do this every week, but we'll see how we go. This week I have another print. I had a print last week, and this is this week's print. This is one of my favourite pictures from 2018. Shot this down on Kiriatahi Beach. If you want to see a bit more about that picture, link up here for that, for a vlog on that picture. Check it out, and there is a link below if you want to purchase that print. Link below for that. I'll ship that free anywhere in the world on A4 paper. I'm signing that, and I'm printing that on Hanemule. Is that how you pronounce it? Hanemule paper. Hanemule. Hanemule fine art paper, 310 GSM if you want. It's beautiful paper, and what can I say? If you want that print, link below for that. That's it for this week, guys. Look, thanks for joining me again. Next week I've got something really interesting again, something a bit different from this week. So be sure to come and see me. Check out the vlog again next week. I'd appreciate it. Actually, if you haven't subscribed, do so. Instagram, all that stuff, links below for that. We'll see you again next week. Take care. Come back again soon, and I'll see you. Haere rā from New Zealand. Goodbye.